Grace Leonello, buon pomeriggio Grace, thank you for coming into the studio of Radio Italia 1.
No worries, thank you so much for having me.
How did we come across Grace Leonello? I discovered that you were part of a ceremony at Government House,
Yes.
where you were one of the people awarded an Excellence Commendation Award by the Governor of South Australia. So congratulations for
Yes,
that.
thank you so much.
So tell us, what is that? What happens? Tell us what happens at Government House.
Oh, it's a magical experience. On the day we were on the grounds in the front yard of Government House under a marquee, and there was about 30 to 40 of us students who were receiving one of those government awards. A variety of different backgrounds, people from doing stuff for Indigenous affairs to domestic violence, raising awareness of all sorts of causes, but also people with academic skills and excellence within fields such as like specialist math to English literary, legal studies, everything in between. It's quite an experience, yeah.
And so what happened? You arrived there and you were taken into a particular room? Or?
No, so we were on the actual grass,
Uh-huh.
so we weren't allowed into the building on this occasion, but yeah, we were on like the front yards, and there's all these beautiful roses and green grass, and it's very well manicured. Yeah.
And you met the governor?
Yes, yeah. So when I went up for my award, you accept it from the governor herself. So when I received my award, I got up and got to shake her hand, and then we also exchanged a few words while I was on the stage being presented with my award. We got to have a little discussion for a bit about my future endeavours at uni, and she was really excited for me, and yeah, it was a lovely little moment.
Well, that's right. We might jump forward and then come back because, well, all right. But do you know her background, her story? She was the head of the Foreign Affairs Department.
Yes, she was, and she worked in diplomacy for quite a bit as well, yeah.
She was the Australian ambassador to China
Yes.
at one stage.
Yes.
But she entered the public service, maybe it wasn't Treasury. Anyway, the same year I did. I haven't seen her probably over 40 years, but yeah, it's quite an outstanding career.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you got an award for what?
Oh, for such a mixture of things. So high school was a multifaceted time for me, especially in year 12. The Governor Commendation Award came from a mix of things, from raising awareness and funds for a little health clinic in Uganda, northern Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
I did fundraising on that in year 10. I was a part of the Purple Bench initiative, which was a domestic violence awareness and vigil. So I was able to install a purple coloured bench, and it was a part of like a symbol for domestic violence awareness.
Where's that?
That's at Thomas More College. So it's in like the front garden with, there's a few roses and underneath the tree. And a part of that I also constructed, it was about 10 slides worth, but it was a program dedicated to teaching all students across all year levels about healthy relationships, and also in a relationship yourself, how you can regulate your own behaviours, regulating your anxiety. It was sort of like a wellbeing program of that sort. So I was really into that in year 12. There was also, I did an ice bucket challenge fundraiser for Project Compassion.
What was that?
So we had about 10 teachers sign up, and the more money that my school was able to raise, the more teachers got an ice bucket cold water dumped over their head. And on the day we did it like an auction where each teacher would come up and I'd auctioneer off each teacher, and one by one students would choose and bid if they could do the bucket over the head. So that was quite funny. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a few interesting. Now, a purple bench, where does that idea come from? Because I've heard of the red bench.
So the purple bench came across after I was invited. I was college captain at Thomas More College in 2025, and part of one of my events that I got to attend was the Archbishop of South Australia, his unveiling of the purple bench near our cathedral, St Xavier's Cathedral. And so it's a part of this international correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's international initiative where across the world, at least I know for in South Australia, even spots like cemeteries, for example, are popping up these purple benches as a symbol for domestic violence awareness, not only against women but against men and just tense family situations as such. So yeah, it came from meeting with the Archbishop and those college captain duties, and I was just able to stumble across it, became inspired and went for it.
Where's this purple bench? You said near the cathedral, near St Francis.
Yeah, it's near, I'm pretty sure, a statue of Mary MacKillop.
Okay, yes, that's on the corner there.
Yeah, it's like
park.
in a little garden area, yeah.
Okay, yes, it's been unveiled in Mary MacKillop Plaza in Adelaide. So that was done in June last year, 17th of June.
Yeah.
Maybe May, actually. Fine. So the first bench was installed in 2015 in Nova Scotia, Canada.
Yeah, so it is international,
To mark the 25th anniversary of the murder of a lady named Barbara Bailey. Okay, cool. So now you've got one at the school.
Yeah.
Thomas More. Where is Thomas More College? I don't know it.
Yeah, so Thomas More College is located in Salisbury Downs, so it's in the northern suburbs. I'm a proud northern suburbs kid. I've always,
Yes.
I grew up there, and yeah, it's been where I've been my whole life.
You're having the Feast of St Giuseppe there soon.
Yes,
yeah?
we are. Yes.
Okay. Now, so we've spoken a bit about what you've done in Year 12 and before, but one of the other things I noticed is that you were the Ducks of 2025. Ducks. Now, what does Ducks mean?
So Ducks, it doesn't relate to ducks, that's for sure. So Ducks, College Ducks, basically it's an award given to the best academically performing student of that college. So at Thomas More College, I was the highest achieving in academics. I received a 97.9 ATAR raw and then a 99.95 ATAR adjusted.
Wow.
Yeah, so a part of being Ducks, of course, hard dedication to my studies. During my Year 12 studies and my SACE certificate, so contributing towards my ATAR, I studied Year 12 English Literature Studies, which is the advanced English.
Mm-hmm.
I did general mathematics, legal studies, modern history, activating features and identities, which is like a research project, and I focused that on how to cook like an authentic Italian. It involved a lot of interviewing with my nonnas and all that sort of fun stuff, but yeah, we'll get back to it. And I also studied a Cert 3 in business on the side of all of this, so that included doing learning about like workplace practices, and it gave me a qualification to step out of high school with, already to get into employment opportunities while studying at uni and working towards that bigger degree.
Okay, so English Literature Studies.
Yes.
So what does that mean, English Literature Studies?
So compared to the other Englishes, literary studies is more around analysis of classical literary texts. So we're talking more Shakespearean, Arthur Lee Miller, those sort of classics, whereas other English topics can sort of do any sort of novel or text. So it was more classical studies, you could say. So I spent my year analysing Arthur Lee Miller's Crucible, Khaled Hosseini's Kite Runner, Strictly Ballroom, the movie. That was wonderful. I loved that movie so much. And also Slumdog Millionaire, the movie.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Impressive. So, analysing the Crucible, remind me, is that the one where there's a trial?
Yes, it's about the Salem witch trials of the 15th century.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I actually visited, I thought I visited the place where that all happened in Salem, in
America.
Yes,
Yeah.
States. But then I met a gentleman who said, well, actually, I'm from the town where it really happened. It wasn't there, but anyway. Fine, so that's quite a mixture of subjects. So general maths, you mentioned.
I chose general maths more out of a place of knowing that doing English, history and legal studies, they're very word heavy, content heavy, a lot of reading, writing. And so general math to me was more just like a break from words in a way.
Yes.
And it was more methodical and systematic, and I didn't really have to think as much out the box in a way.
Okay, that's an interesting way of putting it.
And I was surprised to have even chose math in the end, because math had always been a subject that I always sort of tried to ignore. I didn't really like math at all. And then I had a really wonderful teacher in year 11 who just sort of changed my whole perspective on maths, and I really enjoyed it in the end, and I ended up choosing it in year 12. But if you told me, Grace, from year 10 that you'd be doing math in year 12 and then getting a subject merit for it, she would have thought, ew, numbers.
Okay, so what you said, change your perspective.
I don't know. I think it takes a good teacher with patience and the ability to sort of comprehend how different brains can process things in different ways. And I think math, to me, just wasn't always approached in the right way, or I maybe didn't give it the patience it needed. But she was able to approach teaching math to me in a way that made it seem more fun, and the way she'd explain things, it just seemed to click to me more all of a sudden, and I found relevance to it and stuck through.
What do you mean by what's relevant about it?
I think there is a lot of, when you're in school, a lot of students are always wondering, how does this relate to me when I graduate high school, or what is this actually going to teach me now that I can use in the future? I think I sort of felt that way a lot about some of the math that I was learning. For example, I wasn't going to be a mathematician, so I never really thought of algebra as something I'd use in my everyday life. But she was able to sort of spin math into more of a fun problem-solving subject, and you sort of forget about the relevance and sort of just take it on as a challenge instead.
Cool. Now let's go back to this research project. You said it was about learning to cook like an Italian.
So you, at the start of the project, you have to give yourself a learning goal, and my learning goal was to cook like an authentic Italian. And so I come from a full Italian background. From Calabria, all my grandparents are from Calabria, and food has always been an important part of our family, I think, for any Italian family that goes. And becoming older and being 18 and sort of moving towards independence, cooking, I find, is one of those skills of independence. And so if there's any way that I'd like to cook, it'd be to cook like an authentic Italian, just like my nonnas and stuff, because their food's the best. So that was my intention towards the project, and also being about cooking, I found that was a more fun topic than something more theology based. I wanted to sort of have an outlet in a way, so that was more creative for my year 12.
Okay, so research projects, people will say, what's the topic? And you say it's about, in this case, cooking like an Italian, but really, bit complicated. That's not really the point of research. You have to apply. Were you applying particular theories or methods? So it sort of came about as researching how different regions in Italy cook their food. So learning how the northern side of Italy was a lot more butter-based, cream-based, and stuff like that. They were more heavy on meats and those sort of things, whereas once you shift down more to the south, it's more tomato-based, more vegetables, a more emphasis on seafood as to red meat and stuff like that. And on top of that, also just learning
how to approach different dishes in different ways. I guess that was the theology behind it. So I was reaching out to chefs such as Adrian Richardson, Luca Ciano, and they responded and gave me their ideas of how they would cook the dishes. I also reached out to a few cafes in this area, Nonna's Cucina. That was one. I ended up doing an interview with them. I got some advice on my tiramisu from them, and that was a really good experience as well. Yeah.
Okay, well, interesting as you were making those distinctions. One of the people I interviewed a few times now is a real expert on longevity, and he was describing the difference between his father's family and his mum's family. The father from I think Friuli Venezia Giulia, up in the northeastern part of Italy, and say that the weather was so cold that nothing would grow in winter.
Yeah.
So it's certainly no vegetables. They might have carrots, but lots of, as you said, meat, cheese.
Yeah.
Whereas from the Calabrian grandmother's side, lots of melanzane and vegetables, and not so much meat. And that's the old traditional Mediterranean diet. It's supposed to be so good.
Yes.
Very few people actually follow that in Italy, I think, nowadays. Okay, so you spoke to some chefs. They gave you their perspective. Did you interview the nonna? Or?
Yes, I interviewed my nonnas personally. They were the best for advice, I would say. The poor things, they got like 18 questions each. Yeah. And coming from like not perfectly speaking English backgrounds, it was probably a lot, but they gave me so much advice. I ended up being able to write a whole recipe book out, so I had things like frittata, I had tiramisu, pasta asciutta, what else was there? I had biscotti recipes that I wasn't able to attempt but still wrote down, even just simple soups like brisea, fasolo, minestrone, stuff like that, pastina. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Sounds like quite a portfolio there. Is this published anywhere?
Well, it was, the portfolio of research was published online, but that website I don't have anymore. Because once it was sent off to SACE for moderation, I couldn't be seen as responsible for it. Like, I couldn't have my name to it because SACE can't mark things with your name to it.
Blind mark.
Yeah.
Because I reckon that's probably worth publishing, to be honest.
I should go start writing as a cookbook right now. Sell it.
Yeah. Now, Grace, you said that when you had this last award, you didn't go inside Governor's house. But the photo I've put of you on the flyer as an image of you inside. I'm pretty sure it was inside, yeah? Because I think I recognised that spot. So what's the story there?
Yeah, so along with a Governor's Commendation Award, ducks and stuff like that, I won a Governor Civics Award. So the Governor Civics Award is an award, it comes in different categories for each year level of South Australian schools, and I was a part of the SACE category for 2025. So that included me receiving recognition for my 2,000 word report on lowering the voting age in Australia and whether that should be something that South Australia or Australia looks towards. So during legal studies and completing that, it naturally came about. I was arguing the for and against if it should be lowered to 16 or not. And whilst doing so, I sort of identified that there's a lack of civics education at the moment. And so because of that, we can't really move towards lowering the voting age efficiently. But a part of that was stumbling across the Governor's Civics Award as an initiative that helps out with promoting civics education. And whilst I was discussing that with my teacher, she said, well, mention that in your report, but also let's apply you for the award as well. So we applied for the award. I was at my school intercol that day watching a soccer game. I was at the, whereabouts is it? I was at an outdoor soccer pitch writing my legal studies inquiry and then submitting it to this governor's award. Not really sure if it would get me where it did, but I ended up winning that award. And so yeah, basically it goes through a strict process of judgment, and the criteria to win the award is sort of your research needs to be new, appealing and fresh, something different, original, and the quality needs to be sophisticated and astute. And I was able to apply legal principles in a way that sort of delved into lowering the voting age and my conclusions around that, and I won the award, luckily.
Excellent. So, okay, you come up with some suggestions about introducing civics education.
Yes.
And who did you present that to, or who would have received that?
So the receiving end of the report, I'm not exactly sure on the exact board of members. I believe it might have included the governor, and then she has a few people below her who read through every report and sort of judge them based off of that.
Yes. But then the recommendation for introducing, I don't have it here, introducing the education stream. Is that, you said it's being implemented?
I don't know on that behalf,
Yeah.
because that was just a school report, so
Yes.
I can only make the suggestion. Whether that gets put in is very out of my hands.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm just looking up. There's another person that I've interviewed in the past, who I'm pretty sure was at that governor's commendation award, and I think it was Zorzi was his surname, but he was prefect, or whatever word they used, at Ross Trevor. But maybe that's not his name. It's escaping me. Okay. Now, we've talked about you in Year 12, and you did extremely well. What's next? University has started for you?
Yes, university has started. I just completed my second week. In fact, this morning I did my first law quiz for one of my law topics.
Oh,
so
okay.
that was a 2-hour test with only 4 questions. So quite a bit of depth going into each.
2 hours is a lot for a test.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that included more than 1,000 words, but I'm pretty confident with how that went. But yeah, so I'm in my second week of studying a double degree of law and international relations and political sciences. I also have the option to go into my honours year at this point in time, and during my studies I'll also be undertaking a graduate diploma of legal practice. So once I've finished uni, I can practice as a barrister or solicitor if that is the way that I want to go, unless I've got that qualification nonetheless.
That sounds like 5 or 6 years of study.
Yes, it is. Without the honours year, it is 5 years. With it is 6.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was going to say, enjoy it.
Yeah.
It probably won't always feel like it's something you need or want to enjoy, but it is a wonderful time in your life, and important experiences. So, law, international relations, politics. Did you say which university?
Flinders, yeah.
Flinders
in the city.
Flinders in the city. That lovely new building.
Yes.
Next to it was in the Festival Plaza.
Yeah, right next door to the train station as well, so it's really convenient for myself.
Yeah, so you get off the train and you go a short walk to the university. And it's very new, lovely facilities.
Yes.
I've only visited twice, but just in the same place. I haven't seen the whole lot, but it's
really good. It shares with a few other companies, I believe, but it's got a cafe there, so go in between study breaks to the cafe downstairs. There's even social stations within the uni, like table tennis, and there's a kitchen nearly on like every floor, which is amazing.
Now, as we're saying this, I think one of my other interviewees that I spoke to, was it late last year or this year, Aiden's Bartella said he was going to be doing that degree. Have
Yes.
you come across him?
Yes, I have. He is in one of my law topics, so we're studying the Introduction to Law and Justice together, which is more of just like a foundational topic that you have to do. It's compulsory, and it sort of orientates you for the five or 6 years of law ahead of you. Yeah.
Actually, maybe you can interview him for the Italian cooking, because he told me, and I'm coming back to it, that he makes a ciccatelli with his nonna, and the nonna complains because he makes them too big.
Oh,
So,
I think Nonna has the overall say in the kitchen.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, you've already mentioned a bit the Italian background, so now I'll ask about your Italianness. Where does the Leonello or others come from?
So we all come from Reggio Calabria,
Uh-huh.
from a town, Sinopoli.
Oh, Sinopoli is a major centre, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
so all my family comes from there. I've never been to Italy. I'd love to go though. I reckon I need to polish up on my Italian.
I was going to ask you, how do you speak, what language do you speak with the non...
Yeah, it's a bit of a mashup. I don't speak proper Italian. I speak just a little bit of Calabrese and broken bits here and there. But I think I'd need to polish up on my skills before I go over there.
Aha. That's okay, but I'm sure the Nonna and the Nonni would be... So Leonello, I guess, is your father's name. So, and they're both all from Sinopoli?
all from Sinopoli, yeah.
And what's the other family names?
Marciano.
Marciano?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that... Don't tell me, is that where Rocky Marciano is from?
No.
No. You know who I'm talking about?
The boxer.
The boxer,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So you haven't been yet, no doubt. You will organise that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Ben, we've come up to it's nearly 4:30. You'll have, fingers crossed, guests next in a couple of minutes, but they're not here yet, which is one of the beauties of live radio. Yes, that's part of the covering the election campaign. So, is there a song or a singer that you would like to request?
Of course. I think Dr. Coutinho.
Dr.
It has to
Coutinho.
be. He's the best
Okay.
at weddings.
Yes, okay. What is a song in particular?
L'Italiano.
L'Italiano, okay.
He wasn't proud to be Italian.
Yes. And actually, that was one of the songs that Giovanotti sang the other night at the Womack concert.
Oh, beautiful.
Va bene, okay, well, thank you again, Grace. Grazie per essere venuta nello studio, and congratulations again. Best wishes for your studies. I guess I spent a lot of time at university too, so, but enjoy it as much as you can.
Thank you.
And best wishes for your future career.
Thanks.
Excellent.